Inside a Jacksonville police drug raid. Tommy G. Yes, Sirski.
Drugs off the street.
It means a lot. We try to keep our community safe. We'll do whatever it takes to enforce the law and take drugs off the street.
Right here.
Yep.
Tommy real life be in the most random situations anytime, all the time, every day, bro. This man be with the random cartels. He be with the swim teams. He be with different content creators. Then he's with the cops. Then he's with the military. Then he's with the FBI. Then he's with some fucking, like, who knows, bro? He might be with a supervillain next week talking about something. So how does one plan to take over the world? And they got to be like masked up talking about some goddamn.
I mean, really all it is just being smart about it and not really trying to like get away with it all the time. I really just be trying to get my notoriety up by taking over different places and things like that. But I just caused mass casualties in Chicago the other day. Then we're gonna go down this place and do this, and Tommy be standing there right there with him.
Like, bro, what are you doing? Bro's on the side quest to journalize everything. To journalize everything. I don't even know if that's a real word, but you heard it here first on Gsama. Yes, sir.
It's that one. Should be second block on the right.
Brown, hey, watch this car. Watch this car.
Imagine. And y'all know cops be getting shot at.
Hands up, it's search warrant. Stop running!
It's 1:20 on a Saturday, and we're responding to the scene of an overdose.
Crazy. Well, at least we know Tommy's good, bro, because everybody fucks with Tommy, bro. Everybody fucks with Tommy G.
What you just witnessed was an operation from Jacksonville's undercover narcotics unit raiding the house of a suspected drug dealer. You also just saw a snippet of their overdose team investigating a drug-induced death to see if there's a drug dealer that they need to find and charge with a homicide. Currently, Jacksonville law enforcement is receiving nationwide attention for things like cutting their county's homicide rate in half over a 1-year period and employing state-of-the-art crime-fighting technology. For a few days, me and the boys embedded with Jacksonville Sheriff's Office to see their...
Damn, they got Batman working for them now, bro. They got that Wayne Tech, bro. Cut in half. This is Batman numbers right now, bro. What the fuck?
Methods in action. This video is part 1 of a 3-part series we are releasing, with part 1 focusing on how Jacksonville fights drug-related crime, and for part 2 we will be on a night patrol with cops and K9 units, and for part 3 we will be looking into how their SWAT team and gang task force tackles murders and gang violence. This, folks, is unprecedented
crazy.
access
This is
that
your
we are
daily
proud to
life.
bring to you. Let's get to it.
And then on the other side of it, like the drug dealers, that's their daily life. So it's like a constant battle over and over again. The cycle that never ends.
Folks, we are pulling up on an undercover drug raid. There's a drug task force here in Jacksonville that is really trying to crack down on fentanyl and the problems that drug bring into a community. This is a blood pumping type of experience. This is something where you breach a door and someone resists. There could be shots fired. You might have to bring in SWAT. You might have to, it's a high pressure job. Let's go in and check this out and see what the next step is.
We were walking into an office where undercover officers worked and where their top secret operations were planned. So we were instructed to keep the cameras low until it was time to move out on this raid.
This shit's fucking crazy, bro.
So I'm Lieutenant Manna with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office Narcotics Unit. I'm over narcotics and vice.
And what's the operation today? What are we looking for?
Today we have a search warrant for a drug house. We conducted several buys from the property, and we know they're selling drugs from inside the house. And we are going to...
Finally, I can watch and not worry about being tired for work tomorrow. Yes, sir, bro. We're trying to make sure that I wake up on time and I'm not sleeping all fucking day. I got off stream at like, what, 4 in the morning today? It said we were right back at it, bro. I don't give myself much time, bro. We got to get into this content now, bro. The Clips channel is now linked below with the YouTube tab on the About section. So if y'all want to fuck with my Clips channel, all this stuff is going up on YouTube. We did a reaction to Flex's new song. Before this, we got the Tommy G video. Then we about to be doing, we got a game that I saw on Instagram. It's like basically you're the boss and like, you know how like you play Souls games and you're the hero. You're fighting the hero and it's like a 20-minute game. I want to try it out. It's free. I already downloaded it. We're going to get into that. And we're doing Phasmophobia tonight with Gabriel. And that's not his, I don't think that's his whole name. But yeah, we're doing it with Silver. And I don't know who else is getting in there, but hopefully, you know, I wish I could afford YouTube. Nigga, are you good? It's free. Hey, a sub is free, you know what I'm saying? Your support and loyalty is not. We got to earn that, right?
It's on the west side of town.
Is there a particular
anything you miss from the lives will be posted on the YouTube.
Drug we're looking for?
We conducted several buys. We bought crack cocaine from there.
How many drug raids do you think you've been on in your day?
2, 3 a week.
Do we know if the guy living here has many
2,
firearms?
3 a
We
week.
haven't seen any, because if we did, it would qualify for SWAT. So the guys, the job they do is very dangerous, especially the first person inside the property, because you just don't know what's behind the closed doors.
Yeah.
We need to throw one of us in as human bait to make the operation go through. Just we'll draw straws as a crew.
We'll draw straws.
All right, let's
I'm
go.
not walking in
What
nowhere
does it
first.
mean
I'm
to you to
walking
be
in
taking
last.
drugs off the street?
It means a lot. We try to keep our community safe, and obviously this is a vicious circle with supply versus demand, but we'll do whatever it takes to enforce the law and take drugs off the street.
Do you think you'll ever completely wipe drugs
W.
off the street?
I think you can put a dent to it. I don't think you can wipe it off completely, because there are some, for instance, marijuana is legal in certain states. It's a very tough challenge. Again, it's a vicious circle. It's supply versus demand.
Yeah, we reacted to it like 5 minutes ago, 5-10 minutes ago. Yeah, and then we jumped into the Tommy G video, but it'll be posted on the channel, so you'll be able to catch it there.
Where's that guy going right there? He's going in? Yep, he's going to the door. All right.
Okay, yep, we're gonna take him too.
Right here, isn't it?
Yep, it's that one. Should be second block on the right.
Might have to play that zone again, no cap.
Door looks to.
Door's brown. Hey, watch this car. Watch this car. Sheriff's office, search warrant.
They were there with them?
There's somebody running.
They
the back
were
door.
there at this one. Oh, this is a live bust.
Black pants, another one.
Buzz.
They're running, they ran out of the apartment complex.
Stop running!
Whoa, what's you running up on me for?
The other one with the gray hoodie, I don't know where he went.
This nigga is fucking Lex Luthor. What the fuck?
Stop running! 4 Bravo Mike's running in the back.
Nigga, I'm not stopping for shit. Not at all. Never. Not once. I'm gonna keep going, bro. You gotta catch me, bro. Just, yeah, that's it. Nigga, get through the.
You got one of the page cars coming around you on High Grove.
It took him 20 minutes to get through that shrubs. Like, if you ain't run, he ain't want to get away.
Undo your handcuffs? Like, loosen them. I can fit a finger in between there, buddy. That's kind of what we got to do.
Man,
Hi, y'all
bro,
ready?
loosen it,
So,
bro.
In this case, we got a bunch of crack cocaine. We have a lot of powder cocaine. We got some beakers, a bunch of drug paraphernalia, scales.
Them niggas had Schedule 1 in the house, bro. They had Schedule 1 at home. Link said, can we get Schedule 1? We got Schedule 1 at home. Now, when you get at home, take all your clothes off and put that goddamn apron on. Only thing you're allowed to have on is your underwear. Get to cooking.
So obviously we got to say that was successful.
Is crack cocaine as common as it was in early 2000s?
It still is, I would say, crack cocaine, yeah.
How would you classify this bust? Small, medium, large?
Probably a medium scale to small, small to medium. Yeah.
How many people in custody?
So far, 3. And obviously we have a baby now, so we're trying to get hold of the mother. Apparently she's at work, so she'll be coming back.
Oh my God, bro. What the fuck?
You won't be the first. A lot of times, so we can't, we hold the baby, we assist. And then what we do is trying to reunite the baby with the parents. And apparently that's the father, who's the mother, is at work. Since the father is going to be arrested, then the mother will respond to take hold, control.
Yeah, whoa. My thing is, she's at work. She knows what he's doing. And she know he got to watch the kid. Ain't nobody else could watch the kid. I mean, there's nothing you could do. But that's a terrible environment to have your kid in. If a cook goes wrong, that shit could blow the fuck up. Hell nah, twin. Hell nah.
Of her child.
Do they feel like, I'm glad that this is happening, that they got busted?
Absolutely. We get feedback all the time. They don't like these guys. They don't want them here in their neighborhoods.
Because they make them dangerous?
Yeah, they don't want drugs in their neighborhoods.
In the last year, Jacksonville Sheriff's Office has fielded over 5,000 calls for service for drug-related incidents. And in a 2024 survey of Jacksonville residents, next to gun violence, illegal drug usage was the top issue residents wanted the Sheriff's Office to focus their resources on.
A lot of times they are afraid, and the ones they step up, they give us complaints and information. We work every complaint that we get.
I mean, to live in a place where dangerous guys with guns are in and out all the time, and junkies are coming, and you have kids around here.
And this is just the preliminary search. Obviously, they go into details to search the property. And typically on the secondary search, they find additional drug paraphernalia and additional drugs.
Shit. I mean, you got to make do.
Our overdose
and their job, they're just doing their job too.
Year over year here.
This is Vic Michelucci. Previously, he was a Jacksonville investigative journalist who won Crime Reporter of the Year. He left his 14-year career to run communications and media for the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office, and he is the one that opened up the doors for us to be here today.
Fewer people are dying.
And this is just one part of that initiative,
yeah, this
or that
is a
push.
part of that.
Yeah.
But as you saw with that situation, not only did they find drugs, they found at least one gun. And a lot of times when you see drug sales, you see firearms, and that leads to violence.
The murder that comes with the marijuana trade. I'm gonna tell you, I've worked murders where a pound of marijuana was stolen and people get killed for it. It may not seem like a big deal to the populace or to people that are advocates for marijuana, but that's a big deal. One life, I always say, to everybody is too many.
Yeah, bro, over weed. Yeah,
there was
bro.
that kid in
No
there.
cap. That's a really good mindset. W to that cop, bro. Because honestly, like, you say that until it's somebody you know or you. Oh, it's weed. It should be legalized. Yes, and so put stores up that people can go buy it at. Instead of and then the youngins, like, give them an outlet to be able to make money safely without having to go and sell a pound of weed and then get robbed and or killed in the process. Because, like, at the end of the day, are we solving the problem or prolonging it? Because the root of the problem is the issue, not the cover-all,
I mean, that kid was, what, maybe 1?
Yeah.
I don't think there's any excuse.
And imagine, like,
for that.
There was a shootout. Imagine there was a shootout. They ran in the house, started shooting shit up, and then the baby get hit. How many times have we seen niggas shooting on these videos, and then, like, a child is hit? In D.C., that's happened, like, 3 times. Down near Gallery Place, where, like, a little kid got hit for some dumb shit that grown-ups was doing. The people that were supposed to protect them had ulterior motives in what they were doing and just happened to have the kid with them or had no choice but to watch him.
Yeah,
whether you're dealing drugs.
Or it could be, like, just beef, like, and then somebody ran. Like, who knows what the situation is. Like, it's just tragedy. It's just a tragedy at the end of the day.
Doing drugs around people that are doing drugs to expose that child there. And we've had multiple issues of accidental overdoses with kids. And we've put that out, and Thankfully,
that shit is so sad,
the
bro.
most recent instances, our officers were able to save those kids. But imagine having to give Narcan to a 1-year-old.
We just got to watch a successful raid take down an armed crack dealer, but Jacksonville's war on drugs has another side to it, the overdose task force. Whether we'd meet them this trip depended on one thing, an overdose happening while we were in town. Early Saturday afternoon, that call came in. So we've been on standby the 4 days we've been in Jacksonville for when an overdose happens, we're gonna get the call. Unfortunately, it's 1:20 on a Saturday, and we're responding to the scene of an overdose. This is hard to walk into. I mean, you're walking into a family's worst nightmare with cameras, and we want to be respectful of what they're experiencing, but also convey something that happens every day around America in a real way. So we'll see you on the scene.
Right now the victim is still present, so we're going to allow you guys to come in, just kind of keep a distance. We'll be collecting a bunch of things. I think that would be very good, and like as far as the recording and stuff.
Who are you and what do you do? What's your role?
So I am Sergeant Kay Cruz. I am with the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. I'm a part of the Narcotics Overdose Death Investigations Unit.
We are allowed to cross the threshold and film inside the
Yeah. Just don't.
We have consent from the family?
Yeah, and then that's also why I was speaking to the next of kin, because I didn't want her to be like, why is media here? So I was explaining to her the reasoning for you guys being here and like helping,
she's probably like, oh, I know Tommy G.
The public to hopefully prevent future overdoses for overdose
He's
awareness.
gonna get the good word out.
As you enter a scene,
like one of them good sermons
looking for,
we do.
what are you gonna?
So the very beginning of our investigation is the patrol response. Anytime patrol responds to a undetermined death, depending on the evidence on scene, determines what unit will come out to conduct the death investigation. The initial investigation, we're unable to determine what the actual cause of death is. When we respond to the scene, there's kind of two different investigations going on. You have your medical examiner's office investigation, and you also have your Jacksonville Sheriff's Office investigation. The medical examiner's office will do all the medical related stuff. So they're doing the toxicology, and they're actually going to determine the actual cause of death. We are conducting the Sheriff's Office investigation. So with any individual, or if an individual provides a controlled substance to an individual that is a substantial factor in their death, they can be held liable.
And we know that, or we're trying to figure that out?
We're trying to figure that out. Again, very initial stages of the investigation. We're processing the scene with the crime scene unit. And also we're working with the medical examiner's office. We're collecting any evidence that may assist our investigation.
What has you wearing a mask?
I mean, the steps
we wear those to protect our
legal
identities
system.
because a lot of us work in an undercover capacity, so that's why we wear the mask, because we're out in the public. So we just try to conceal our identities from, members of the public, because you never know if someone here at the scene provided drugs to the victim, or if any of these people could potentially be a suspect or a drug dealer for a case that we encounter later.
Is it possible that you might find the dealer, you might do an undercover buy from the same dealer that sold here?
Yes, it's possible.
Because that way you're familiar with the case.
Yes.
Have you ever been in a sketchy situation?
A lot of them.
Explain one of them.
I've been locked in hotel rooms with drug dealers before. Sometimes they'll do that to make sure no one's coming in behind you, so you're in there with them trying to buy drugs, and they'll lock the doors behind you. They have guns on them. They have drugs there. There was a case in Miami recently where they made an undercover actually smoke fentanyl just to say that he wasn't an undercover.
Did he pass away?
No, he did not.
What she's referring to is an insane story.
Being forced to take fent to prove you're not the op. Nigga, I don't take fent. I came here for something else. Take this shit or you die. Nigga, I might as well be dead in GTA. Like, let's be for fucking real. Yo, oh my God. There's no way. That's why I say, bro, cops got the most dangerous job in the world. Your job is to be the front line for everything else. That's why these niggas are so trigger happy, bro. Because the world's going to shit. The world's going to shit. Holy shit, bro. Like, nah, bro. Tell a story.
That just happened a couple weeks ago. A Miami fentanyl dealer got suspicious of an undercover agent and gave the guy two options. You either smoke this fentanyl and die, or I'm gonna kill you anyways. Terrified, the agent had no choice but to hit the Chinese import in front of the dealer. Somehow he survived, and SWAT raided these guys soon after. And it just goes to highlight the incredible danger of this undercover profession.
I've had drug dealers before try to get me to smoke drugs, and it's just, you know, it can be pretty dangerous and sketchy. Pretty much this entire career is pretty dangerous.
What got you into it?
When I was little, I really liked the show Cops. Okay, and I'm not from Jacksonville, but when I was little, I used to watch the episodes, and I remember as a kid seeing the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office episodes and being like, that area in particular, I don't know why, stuck with me, and I was like, that looks like a pretty crazy place to live or work or whatever.
We talked to, prior to making entry, we're talking
that made
to
you say, yeah,
Patrol
I want this.
to provide us with their information that they collected
From the barbershop,
on their initial
yes,
response. We're talking to any next of kins that are on scene, and we're also talking to any complainants or witnesses. We're just trying to gather what happened before police were called to the scene. For this particular structure, the room where the victim was located is from the back. You guys can follow me and we'll go inside.
I think it has a vest on the wall.
Things we're looking for. Where are your eyes going right now?
So eyes are going in the immediate area where the victim was located, but also like common areas of the house, living room, bathroom. We're checking for any paraphernalia, narcotics related, and any additional narcotics or any paraphernalia to even include like little baggies that could have been packaging for narcotics. I've been working narcotics related investigations.
Damn, nigga, hold the fucking camera still, bro. Like this bro can't get it right, or he like reaching in his pocket or something. Goddamn, Tommy, get some goddamn, like, tell bro, like, shape up or get out.
A little over 7 years now. I've been working narcotics overdose death investigations for approximately 3.5, 4 years.
What got you into the overdose unit?
I enjoyed working narcotics investigations.
Welcome.
I noticed that before the creation of this unit, homicide was responding to these types of investigations. And prior, this was kind of before it became, we fell under the Florida State statute of murder. Once we started falling under that Florida State statute, we were able to dig deeper into different types of investigations.
Florida lawmakers are not alone in expressing the sentiment that a drug dealer should be subjected to harsh penalties, particularly if they can be tied to an overdose death. In fact, just recently, Trump made headlines again by stating his long-term position that drug dealers should receive the death penalty.
Nigga, what? What? All right, wait. I think it depends on the drug itself and or the situation and whether or not it killed somebody, or, you know, it was like low severity drugs. Like, you know, when you play Schedule 1 and they catch you with drugs and they're like, oh, like several low severity drugs or like high severity drugs, you know what I'm saying? And then, like, you know, you go to jail. But death penalty for like certain shit, unless you killed somebody like directly, but like sometimes you would never know. Trump weird. Trump crazy as fuck. So we don't want him making any laws anyway.
Penalty for drug dealers. You'll have to get rid of the drug problem. Put that through your head.
As someone who knows the drug dealing black market much better than Trump, I think the numbers he's throwing out are extreme exaggerations that have no root or basis in fact.
A drug dealer will kill 2,000, 3,000, 5,000 people during the course of his or
Look at the girl behind him.
It really depends on what someone is selling.
Look at shorty behind him being a whole dick eater. Like, shaking her head like as if she knew exactly what he's talking about.
If someone is told,
bro, he not gonna fuck you, sis.
3,000, 5,000 people during the course of his or her life.
No one else believes that. No one else believes. None of these other people believe that, but her. She's. He's spitting right now. Hold on. No, he's not.
It really depends on what someone's selling. If someone has sold fentanyl, obviously they have a much higher chance of causing an overdose death. But for some guy trapping weed, it is actually impossible that anyone has died as a result of his drug. It says on the DEA's own website that no one has overdosed from marijuana, and yet it's still a Schedule 1 drug. However, I do agree that a drug dealer needs to be held liable if what he sells kills someone.
Absolutely. If you want to be able to sell something and you want to be a pharmacist and work in pharmaceuticals, go learn to work for Big Pharma. Go to school. Spend the money. If you want to do weed, get you a permit. Go to California. Start up a shop. Make sure your permits are on time. I don't know how many times I went over there in California and the goddamn shit was getting raided. It was like at least once every other week.
The question is, to what extent? What do you guys think in the comments? Should a drug dealer be given a death sentence if they cause an overdose?
Not that I do the devil's lettuce or anything.
In
Sponsors and brands and whatnot out there.
To the family of the victims, but putting all the pieces together to try and determine who actually sold illegal drugs to the victim.
How many calls like this a week do you typically respond to?
The overdoses, they come in waves. There are times that we can get 10 in a week. There are times that we can get 0. There's no way to determine how many call outs a week that we're going to get. Crime scene units here, the narcotics overdose detectives are here. They are taking photographs, they're looking around, pointing out or trying to locate any evidence that may be narcotics related. They are waiting for the medical examiner's office to arrive. Once the medical examiner's office arrives, that's kind of where we're now dividing into like 2 investigations, but we work very close together. Like I said, I think the more information we get out there to the public, make aware that it's not only fentanyl. Yes, fentanyl, that's what we're hearing in the news. It's a dangerous, deadly drug, but any illegal substance can cause a death.
Well, thank you for what you do.
Yeah, thank you.
Sure.
Some Americans would say, hey, alcohol is legal. Alcohol has a lot of problems. I mean, if you look at domestic disputes, violence, fights, drunkenness, DUIs, yeah, that's a huge multi-billion-dollar industry. Why should weed be any different?
Because why add to it? But why add to the problem that alcohol already causes?
Because prohibition doesn't work. The war on drugs has not solved since the 70s.
Asking
the
the good
issues of drugs
questions.
in our community.
Asking the good questions. Get on his ass.
Let me ask you this question.
Get on him, Tommy.
Because we should legalize marijuana because people like to smoke it. We should legalize cocaine, methamphetamine. No. We should legalize fentanyl. We should legalize all the...
No, that's not what we said. You're ignoring the question. You're ignoring the problem as well. Weed, specifically, we didn't ask for cocaine and all that stuff, even though y'all still give it in some ways, shapes, and forms in the medical field. Let's be honest. Let's be honest. I mean, look at opioids and what they do to the community. Or regular niggas. I'm saying. And weed is now on the good side anyway, so you can get it medically regardless.
Those things? No, of course not. Just because people like it, there are certain things that you just shouldn't do, and I think the government should uphold a standard.
So what gave you reason to believe that this could be a narcotic overdose in the first place?
So, based off the evidence that is located at the scene of a death, so for this particular incident, there is narcotics paraphernalia and additional narcotics on scene. We cannot on scene determine the cause of death. Right. That will be for the medical examiner's office investigation. Because of the evidence that is located on the scene, we want to get a jumpstart on our investigation. So the van actually pulled up super close, and we're keeping family further out, so it should be okay.
I don't know how you guys do this day in and day out. I suppose just like anything.
The more that you see it, the more that you adapt to it. And like I said, with these investigations, it affects the family more than anything.
That's me playing Call to the Lamb with my community. Taking the body away.
I think this just goes to show how one death can affect
to the dead.
So many people. It's such a ripple effect.
Right.
Yeah.
As you hear the family in the background, I think
prayers to them.
This goes to highlight. I would not have the stomach for this type of job.
Because even like if you seen bro's room, it looked like clean. Or you know, if you seen fam room, it looked clean. They look like they had their shit together. They may have gotten like, I don't know how many people have gotten accidental fentanyl overdoses, but that shit is ridiculous. So y'all, please be careful if you're out there consuming anything at all. Get a tester. Get a tester. I have testers myself, you know, Just in case, you never know. Somebody around you might need, to know what they're doing. But it's always good to have a backup. Just like it's always good to have an EpiPen if you know somebody has allergies and things like that. It's just being cautious and 1 step ahead, 20 steps ahead. Come on now.
There's the fact that people like you are boots on the ground and see some of this, look death in the face almost on a daily basis sometimes, and have to deal with
what the fuck is wrong with Tommy's
all
hands?
the things that come with it. I mean,
right. I will say that making that next of kin notification is the worst.
What the fuck is that? And he's covering up the other one.
Part about our job is we're having to tell a loved one that their loved one is no longer here.
What I've seen in my own family, there's not one person with the reach drugs has. You could be in a mansion or you could be in the poorest of the poor. There's not one family in America that probably doesn't have some impact of drugs hitting their family or alcoholism hitting their family.
Whole community coming together.
It's just such a heavy job. And then this is the other thing is I think like this gives me perspective too, because sometimes it's easy to look at a dealer and be like, oh, he grew up in a messed up neighborhood with a messed up childhood and he's just trying to make some money to put rent, to pay the rent. But then when it has the impact like this, that makes an entire family gather and cry, then you have a little bit more of a, well, when they get raided, you know why.
The drug dealers know. They know that they are selling this deadly drug. They know what they are selling, so that is why they should be held accountable for what they are selling.
And every single person has that voice inside their heart that knows when something is right or wrong, and to override that just so you can pay rent, even though you can cause devastation to an entire family. And one dealer might have, do you encounter
multiple
dealers?
Customers.
Do you ever encounter dealers that you guys arrest that are tied to multiple deaths?
Yes.
Yeah, this really helped me change my perspective on drug dealing. I mean, there's so much that comes with this. There's family members that have to pay for the funeral. There's how many people had to call off work to leave here and come.
You're seeing Amazon, bro. And Bezos don't play that.
Can be permanently altered by the grief. I mean, I've seen that in my own family very well. Just in today's episode, the fact that a dad is selling crack cocaine next to his baby, and then we land in this scene over here has passed away and the family's crying. Like, you gotta raise your standards a little bit. It makes me thankful. I mean, for the detectives, they have to collect bodies and investigate, and then the people that have to risk their life to go undercover to do the work to catch these guys. That's more of a risk than most of us are willing to take.
Yeah.
It's an honest job. It pays the bills. And these are people that go to bat for us in our community. So, really interesting perspective of how Jacksonville is fighting the flow of drugs through the city. That was a deep dive into the world of Jacksonville crime fighting on the drug division, their narcotics division. Thank you for joining. The support's amazing. I appreciate you guys. I'll see you next week. Thank you.
Folks, you just saw a glimpse of what Jacksonville law enforcement does. And next week, we'll dive even deeper, doing a night patrol episode that involves a kidnapping call, going out on a mission with a K9 unit, catching a live burglary in action, and much, much more. We will also take a deeper look at the secret sauce that has driven Jacksonville to be a place where the homicide rate has dropped in half, something that is nearly unheard of across the country. And folks, a reminder, if you want to pick up the freshest merch on YouTube with the Underworld collection and the Big Dogs Gotta Eat collection,
I will say his merch is actually pretty clean. Undergot merch coming soon. I've been heavily inspired by a lot of great artists as of recently, and oh my God, the stuff that we have coming, I'm not showing anybody except Six with management. And I've got to say, I've been making graphics and whatnot for first off, W Video, Tommy. W Video, bro. Like, respect to him. Respect to the cops doing that good work, The good cops, not the ones out there being fuckboys and shit. Getting swayed by But yes, Sirski.